first of two between the Chargers and the Broncos this year. A great rivalry that has developed as these teams have been the steadies at the top of the AFC West for most of the last decade. John Fox finds his team a game behind, trying to get a first road win of the season. They lost at New England by 10 last week. Norv Turner's team played well, had a double-digit lead, but lost in New Orleans, so they lead by just one in the AFC West. It'll be Ryan Matthews and the Chargers on the field first as San Diego has won the toss and will receive. That's Richard Goodman back deep to take the kickoff for the Chargers. As that one career take back at Matt Prater, who's outstanding with his leg, even not at altitude in Denver. He can kick him through the back of the end zone on the road as well. Should be a good one, and off we go from San Diego. With good hang time, Prater kicked it 8 yards deep. Goodman brings it out anyway. Tried a first look, didn't get there, bouncing it to the outside and pushed out of bounds right around the 30-yard line. So Goodman gets some good stuff. And Rich Bisaccia, the special teams coach, chased him all the way down the sideline. All right, so here comes Phillip Rivers, the Chargers quarterback. And, John, you mentioned it. Mike Harris, the rookie, starts at left tackle. Jared Gaither out with an injury tonight.
San Diego's been a fast-starting offense, but they must help these tackles against this great Bronco pass rush. And look for a lot of Ryan Matthews tonight. They have to get some balance in this offense. Look for him to turn to the former Fresno State great.
Matthews injured his clavicle. The opening carry of the preseason will be right here. Now back to get more of a roll, and a flag comes in on the very first play as Matthews gets about 1.5 yards on the run. Jeff Triplett is our referee tonight.
Ease the hands to the face, number 58 of the defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And Von Miller flagged right at the start here for this Denver defense.
And back to Ryan Matthews. He's had some problems this year. Had a car wreck in training camp, broke his collarbone first play of the preseason. Has had his problems hanging on to the ball, but he is clearly the most talented back in this program.
Penalty takes it to the 36. Rivers, first throw, shot down the field, well covered, and incomplete for Robert Meacham. It was Chris Harris starting at corner for the Broncos tonight.
Well, Tracy Porter's out. I like what Norv Turner just did. Throw the ball deep to Robert Meacham, a feared deep ball receiver. Meacham to the post. Nice play by Chris Harris. Good aggressive play call early in the game. Expect a lot of that from Norv Turner, one of the great shot coaches in the NFL.
Harris is usually the nickel back, but you mentioned Tracy Porter was under the weather and ill, so did not make the trip from Denver. Weren't expecting that to happen until right before they left yesterday. Matthews with the carries, and Champ Bailey, the veteran, 34-year-old, makes the tackle. So Bailey's on one corner, Harris on the other for the injured Tracy Porter. Also a change. And Keith Brookings starts. He's coming off the field right now in the nickel situation, but Joe May struggled a little bit last week, so Brookings going to see more of the field.
Well, they really struggled on third down, especially third and long. They gave up third down and 10+ 4 times last week. Keep an eye on a dynamic duo pass rushers, Dumerville and Von Miller. 2 great ones.
We saw Brookings come off the field. Wesley Woodyard is the one linebacker in for the Broncos. Ronnie Brown's the third down back for the Chargers. As Rivers, 3rd and 11, is too tall for Antonio Gates, who was open for the first down, but the pressure on Rivers, he couldn't deliver on target.
That time San Diego got in a bunch formation, and Gates snuck out of the stack, was wide open. Take a look at it on your left side. Antonio Gates chips Von Miller to help pass protection. Rivers needs to ring that one up.
Trendon Holiday, who last week was a kick returner on Monday Night Football with the Texans, waived Wednesday, claimed the next day by the Broncos. Back to touch it for the first time, Mike Cyphers booms into one. Big, strong-legged kicker. That one not his best, but the bounce will get him 51 yards. And Denver will take over right around its own 14-yard line. Here comes Peyton Manning in this Denver offense. And note, John, they've had 3 different starting offensive lines the first 6 games. Chris Cooper, best interior guy, he returns to the lineup for the first time as a starter tonight.
I think they want to pound Willis McGahee tonight, especially early. Get him established and keep him in the game as long as possible. Denver must start faster on offense. They've fallen way behind too many times early this season.
For the 14 on first down, it will be Willis McGahee who runs to the left for only a yard. The veteran Shaquille Spikes with the tackle.
Tell you what's odd about that is they start the game with 3 tight ends and 1 back. Trey personnel, just 3 tight ends. Virgil Green, number 85 on the left side. They shift back into a conventional formation and try to run McGahee. Expect a little more of that early tonight.
On 2nd and 9, Manning's first throw of the night is Demaryius Thomas. A big game last week against New England. Kept a yard shy of the first down. Eric Weddle making the tackle. Came in to the week 2nd in yards in the NFL in terms of receiving. Demaryius Thomas with those strong numbers against the Patriots. It is 3 straight games with a lost fumble. But there's an asterisk to that. One was on a play at the end of the game in Houston. They were trying a series of laterals. Clearly, Thomas, the first-round pick of 2010, has emerged as a great target for Manning. McGahee, 3rd and 1, not going to get there. Line of scrimmage controlled by the Chargers. 3 and out, Denver.
You know, when you run these outside zone stretch plays, play side blocking is one thing, backside blocking is another. This play just gets run down on the backside by a great player, Sean Phillips. He loves Monday Night Football. 10.5 sacks in 10 Monday night appearances. Off to another great start.
It's Eddie Royal, the former Bronco. His 2 career touchdown punt returns happened when he was a Bronco the last 4 years. Now a Charger, set for the Britton Colquitt kick. Patriots 55 yards. Royal setting them up from the 23. Ranking in by Broncos and only a return of 5 to the 28-yard line. Both Peyton Manning, Phillip Rivers out of the gate. Limited success on the opening drives. Said it before, say it again. Every time you come here, you wonder, why don't we live here? What a great city. And the weather's always fine in San Diego. Drive 2 for the Chargers, taking over from their own 28-yard line. 4-man rush against Rivers. A first down pass complete. Meacham a yard shy for the first down. Good breakthrough game for Robert Meacham last week. Hey, John, I want to jump over to the Denver defense last week because New England went at just a breakneck speed. They ran 89 plays, 97 if you include the penalties. This wasn't a pretty week for the Denver defensive meetings.
No, it was not. And every coach says alignment, assignment, and technique. Last week, Denver did not get aligned. That's why you see a new linebacker in Keith Brookings calling the shots for this Bronco defense.
2nd and 1, quick flip to Matthews, chased by Dumerville on the edge, and the speed of Elvis Dumerville shuts it down for a loss of a couple.
You run that power play to the right, you run that power play to the right, you run the influence flip play to the backside. They're still going to pull the left guard, but they're going to flip the ball away from the pulling guard to Matthews. That time it was well read by Elvis Dumerville.
Dumerville known for his sacks. The big season when he led the NFL in 2009. He had 17. Missed a good part of 2010. He and Von Miller could be a good combo off the edge in known passing situations. 3rd and a couple. Miller pushed the pocket, and Rivers couldn't get it to Eddie Royal in time. And it's incomplete and 3 and out for San Diego.
That's twice. The rhythm of the pass was delayed, but Phillip Rivers, he has to make these awkward delivery throws. Von Miller on a good bull rush, but Rivers has time to step up and make this awkward check down. He's very upset with himself. He missed Antonio Gates on 3rd down the last possession. That time he has an easy one to Eddie Royal.
Cyphers did not have his best kick on the first one. Truman Holiday waits a fair catch. Muffed by Holiday, the new Bronco. For a second, Tony Carter had his hands on it, but it's pulled out of Carter's hands. Well, let's see if the Chargers have it on the bottom of the pile. Trendon Holiday, just brought in by Denver earlier this week to take the punt returns, cut by Houston. Air blue ball in there is what they said. That would mean San Diego, and it is Charger ball.
That turnover ratio that continues to plague the Denver Broncos. They were looking for fair catch interference on the Broncos sideline, but I think it's a good no call by the referee. And Trendon Holiday, who just got here, Mike, is probably not going to be greeted on the sidelines by his new teammates.
Marcus Gilchrist was waiting there, and Dante Rosario, the tight end who has a 3-touchdown reception game this year, on special teams, just pulls it away from Tony Carter. The strength of Rosario comes up with the recovery. It's the 8th time Denver has fumbled the football, and they've lost them all, including the new guy, Holiday. So San Diego gets another possession, one that starts in the red zone at the 17. LaRon McClain coming down to block as Matthews puts his head down. Gains a couple of yards, so Wesley Woodyard pulling at the ball, trying to get a turnover back for Denver.
And Ryan Matthews has big play potential. Last year he had 35 runs, Mike, of 10 yards or more. That was one of the top performances of all the backs in the NFL. He's got to take better care of the ball and better care of himself. Durability and fumbling problems have plagued him, but they're going to lean on him down the stretch.
Malcolm Floyd, great target down here at the bottom of the screen. Meacham at the top. And on 2nd and 6, it is Rivers throwing for Gates, out of bounds and incomplete as Wesley Woodyard, the linebacker, was step for step with Antonio Gates.
That play's designed for Dante Rosario all the way. They're running a little jerk route, and Rosario gets covered like a glove. Watch him hook over the ball. He's trying to beat Keith Brookings, and the veteran Brookings does a great job, and he forces Rivers to look to Gates, who's really a complementary pattern on that route. Excellent work by the veteran middle linebacker, Keith Brookings.
Two linebackers did a good job covering two great threats in the red zone, Gates and Rosario. Ronnie Brown's the back. It's 3rd and 6. Randy McMichael back there with Rivers, helping on the rush, thrown out of the backfield for Brown, and Champ Bailey was there. So the San Diego offense has not clicked. 9 plays, 12 yards, and they'll try a field goal.
Great defense by the Denver Broncos, and Randy McMichael just saved his quarterback there. Von Miller was heating Jeremy Clary up off that right side, and Denver's applying good pass rush to Rivers. Nowhere for the veteran quarterback to go.
So Nick Novak will come on. Nate Kading has a groin injury. He's missed the last couple of games. So Novak, who replaced Kading last year when the veteran Charger kicker was hurt on the opening kickoff of the season, wasn't picked up by anybody else, but this is a very good place kicker, and Novak gets the game's first points. Muffed punt by Denver turns into 3 for San Diego. Less than sharp start for Phillip Rivers. 1 of 6 for 9 yards, and they haven't been deep passes down the field.
He's been hit a lot early this season. His clock is a little bit off, and I'm sure Norv Turner's saying, hey, just calm down. We're going to come back to some of those same throws we just called. He knows he's got to hit those throws.
Norv looking at those pictures that you get from upstairs and try to go through what they're trying to do to defend you. Nick Novak with the kick. It's a pretty short kick. It bounces. It has to be fielded as Omar Bolden left it free, and then he put it on the ground again. So 2 poorly fielded kicks by the Broncos, 1 leading to a turnover, giving it to San Diego. Different return man this time, and Omar Bolden, the rookie out of Arizona State. San Diego coming out of there like they have it, they do.
So I was always reluctant to use inexperienced return men. Omar Bolden has really struggled in kick returns. They just picked up Holiday off the Houston Texans roster, but 2 critical mistakes by 2 young returners in a big game.
You see, look at the officials like, hey, we've had enough of this at the bottom of the pile. It's San Diego ball as they continue to unpile. It was a short kick by Novak, and 3 to be recovered. Bolden eventually does get it and starts going forward and then has it knocked out.
We'll chalk it up to the 9th fumble that the Broncos have lost, but 2 inexcusable errors in the return game by Denver.
Getting a hand on it. It is Stuckey, Darryl Stuckey, the safety, and then fellow safety in Corey Lynch ends up coming up with the recovery. So Bolden, the rookie, the newly acquired Holiday, both put it on the ground, and the Chargers get their 2nd consecutive possession in the red zone. Last one started at the 17, this one at the 19. As it was a turnover, just waiting for confirmation on it from upstairs that Jeff Tripworth, the referee, has, and he blows the play ready to go. And now Bolden sits with the lump in his throat, watching the defense see if they can bail him out. LaRon McClain, the back, moving to the left to block from Matthews. Gain of 4 to the 15. Dumerville, the tackle.
And Rivers has missed a couple easy ones early on 3rd down. This one to Antonio Gates, ball's a little too high. Then he's got to shuffle up, reset, and find Eddie Royal. Those are big 3rd down conversions. Give credit to Denver's pass rush, but Rivers needs to settle down a little bit.
Now 2nd and 6. And Rivers throws complete for the touchdown to Gates.
Antonio Gates. We've been asking for more Gates all weekend, Mike. That time they used Robert Meacham, the speedy ex-New Orleans Saint, to flush out the deep zone. And Antonio Gates runs his trademark corner route for 6. That's his 50th touchdown grab from Phillip Rivers. Good play-action pass, and Meacham clears it out, and the ball's thrown perfectly to the back corner of the front corner of the end zone, and Antonio does the rest. Beautiful work.
In front of the safety, Mike Adams, extra point from Nick Novak. So in 41 seconds, 10 points for San Diego. Penalty marker down. You see Robert Ayers of Denver involved with some arm swinging. The players get broken up. Antonio Gates, 50th time, Gates to Rivers. Rivers to Gates, I should say, for a touchdown.
The point after is good. After the point after, personal foul, face mask, number 66 of the offense. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Special teams has given it twice to the Chargers. That time they make them pay with a touchdown. First time that a quarterback to a tight end have hooked up 50 times in their career for touchdown. Rivers to Gates, 10-0 San Diego. There's the number we mentioned going to break. That's 50 touchdowns from Rivers to Gates. Talking about quarterbacks and tight ends. There have been many great ones over the year, but that's the most touchdown hookups. Antonio getting his first on this season. And the Chargers lead 10-0 because of that face mask on the extra point. Novak has to kick off from the 20. It is Bolden again back to return. Fumbled the last one. Takes it from the 9. And hangs on to the 25, but penalty markers come in. 35, I should say, as the penalty markers come in.
During the return, holding number 49 of the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Let's take a look at the last touchdown. I like the protection. Here's rookie Mike Harris against Elvis Dumerville all by himself, holding his own. And on the backside, watch Randy McMichael come across in motion and double Von Miller. That's good coaching, good game planning. Take care of the edges. Let Phillip Rivers have time to set his feet.
And what do all those mistakes mean? It's an early hole for Peyton Manning and the Broncos. What else is new? For the story of the season for Denver. This McGahee with the run up the middle. Gain of almost 5 yards. You see they've trailed by 10 or more for really 2/5 of their game time this year. Only Tennessee and Kansas City have been teams that have trailed more by double digits during the first essential third of this season. Wouldn't expect it with Manning and the Broncos, but the hole to climb out of. This one's early, and it's Decker with the completion from Manning. Eric Decker in front of Marcus Gilchrist gets the Broncos' first down.
That's what I like about this Bronco offense. It's not just everything you saw Peyton do in Indianapolis. That time a bunch formation. Eric Decker flies out of there uncontested. A lot more formations in this Bronco interpretation of the no huddle.
Trying to get McGahee going. Eric Weddle smells it, reads it, knocks him down. Loss of 3.
Donald Butler, the AFC Defensive Player of the Week against the Kansas City Chiefs, is really emerging as an outstanding inside linebacker in San Diego. That time Eric Weddle and Donald Butler unaccounted for.
Second and 13 as Manning throws complete. The tight end Joel Dreesen with the catch. So it's going to be 3rd down and 10. And take you back to what you just said about different formations. So it looks like the old Manning Colts offense, but it has some of the stuff Denver had left over conceptually.
Absolutely. You're going to see bunch formations, empty formations, some different type of alignments that Peyton Manning hasn't shown a lot of in his career in Indianapolis.
Former Colts teammate Brandon Stokely in the slot at the top. On 3rd and 10, it's for Decker, and it's broken up. It was Gilchrist. The nickel corner comes in, knocks it away, and after 1 first down.
That's just a great job by second-year man Marcus Gilchrist, number 38. He recognizes it. He beats a block. And that's what you have to do. Read your scouting report. You see the quick screen is a big part of this Denver Bronco offense. You see it, pull the trigger and drive on it. Nice play by Gilchrist.
Well, the Broncos' special teams have been awful so far. A penalty, a muff, a fumble. Eddie Royal, their former return man, awaits to take it on a bounce. 48-yard kick. Royal right down right away. The return of 1 is Matthew Willis, the extra wide receiver for Denver on coverage. 10-0 San Diego. 8 plays for Peyton. Only 1 first down. Big overtime rally to win for Detroit in Philadelphia yesterday. We'll see the Lions take on the Chicago Bears. Only Atlanta has a better record in the NFC. Lions and Bears will be in the NFC North in the great city of Chicago 1 week from tonight. Speaking of great cities, see, they got a big screen out there, John. They're watching the sunset and the game all at once.
What a life.
You believe that?
Nope.
Not for a second. This time the Chargers in the last 3 possessions are starting back on their own side of midfield. So from the 23, here comes Matthews, right. 7 yards for Ryan.
Good audible by Phillip Rivers. He recognized the Broncos in a pressure front. He audibles to a stretch play. He sees the overload coming on the weak side. He runs the stretch play away from the overload. Good recognition by Rivers. And that's the back the Chargers need to get going. Matthews.
Jackie Battle had as many carries as Matthews because of the injury. They're easing Matthews into this season, but now ready to go and take more of the load as he comes left and gains about a yard. It'll bring up 3rd and 3. North Turner, a lot of different parts on this San Diego team to fit in depending on the down and distance.
Yeah, here comes Eddie Royal. Here comes Ronnie Brown. There goes Matthews. There goes McLean. A lot of personnel groupings, different formations, incredible ball distribution, Mike. The backs have caught 50 passes. The receivers have caught 40. And the tight end's 23. But the ball goes everywhere from different formations in North Turner's system.
All 3 receivers, Floyd, Royal, and Meacham, come to the bottom of the screen. Von Miller got an early start. And it looks like it'll cost his team a first down. Let's see.
Nope, start.
Other way.
Number 17, the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Called on Rivers, and that was a rule that was a point of emphasis this year in terms of baiting him with the hands of the quarterback and over-simulating the snap, if you will.
No way. That's a little ticky-tacky to me. You got to be kidding me on that call.
It's funny, many think the rule was put in because of Peyton Manning and what he does at the line of scrimmage in trying to anticipate that shotgun snap. Instead, Rivers penalized 3rd and 8. It's the 4-man twisting rush. Rivers climbs the pocket. Over the middle, Malcolm Floyd near midfield. First down, gain of 25.
Look at Phillip Rivers. He just turned to Jeff Triplett and said it didn't matter. That's the Phillip Rivers that we have all learned to love. A stunt up front by the Broncos. He slides to his left and throws a bullet to M80 Malcolm Floyd. Good release by Floyd down the seam against Chris Harris. You can't throw the ball any better. If Rivers gets hot, Denver better watch out in this stadium. His one-loss record speaks for itself in San Diego.
Around midfield where North Turner loves to take shots downfield, sending one across the middle. Gates, after a gain of 25, a gain of 23 in front of the safety, Mike Adams.
Mike Tirico, you've been studying North Turner's film too. Way to go. A deep cross by Antonio Gates with a blazing clear out by Robert Meacham for Antonio Gates. And as you said, Mike Tirico, North Turner loves to take shots between the 40s. Antonio Gates, Phillip Rivers, what a combination.
Even a slow, short, non-athletic guy can take coaching. Thank you, Coach.
Omaha ready. 57, bring it.
Broncos on the ropes here in the first quarter. We've seen this before on a Monday night. 4 weeks ago in Atlanta. Matthews running left to the 20-yard line. Champ Bailey had to come down and get the tackle. Flag down.
So holding against Denver. For San Diego, I should say.
79 to the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
All right, so you talked about Jeff Triplett and Rivers a moment ago. Can I read you the exact point of emphasis? Tell me what you think of it, John. A quarterback in the shotgun formation thrusting his hands forward in an exaggerated manner when there is not a simultaneous snap. They wanted that to be emphasized as calling a false start.
We can save ourselves a lot of time, Mike, by eliminating some of those rules and interpretations.
I just like winding you up.
Big penalty, though, by the rookie left tackle, Mike Harris.
Undrafted out of UCLA. Stepping in for the injured Jared Gaither tonight. So it's 1st and 20, and Rivers screen to Matthews. This is an excellent screen team. And Matthews was a step away from going a long way.
Well, North Turner does a great job with screens. He loves the perimeter offense to slow the pass rush down. And Champ Bailey makes a great play, but you're going to see Matthews leak out to his right. And watch number 24 come screaming in here off the edge to make this tackle in a one-on-one situation. It's a good thing the veteran Champ Bailey is still in Denver. Good call. Screen passes. You're going to see a half a dozen screens tonight from this San Diego offense, and OU screens that every eligible on the field.
Ron McClain in there for 2nd and 11. And Matthews can't get back to the line of scrimmage. Danny Trevathan, the rookie out of Kentucky, 6th-round pick, comes in for the stop.
Well, that's that patented 96 power play they've run here for years. Von Miller spills it at the point of attack, and Trevathan does a nice job scraping around the horn. Good run fit by the Denver defense, and a huge 3rd down here. And long. Look for a creative rush of some kind from this Bronco defense.
Peyton's called the whole offense over there trying to get their act in order. I hope the defense can limit it to 3 at worst. Flag thrown. False start again.
False start. Number 81 in the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
There's Randy McMichael, the veteran tight end.
2 false starts on 2 separate hard counts by Phillip Rivers, and it's really been a weapon for the veteran quarterback in his Charger offense. The voice inflection, the hard count. So far it's backfired 2 times. Keep an eye on his 3rd down and long, Mike. This is the area that Denver really struggled last week against the Patriots. 3rd and extra.
2 down. 52. Load it. Back to Lucy. Back to Lucy.
3rd and 16. Rivers. Hugo had a handoff. on him. The flag is down as Royal gets the first down inside the 15-yard line.
I'll call pick on Antonio Gates here, Mike.
Pass interference, number 85 in the offense. 10-yard penalty, still third down.
Chargers were disappointed last week late in the game when Rivers was throwing to Gates and he was called for offensive pass interference.
Antonio's going to set the depth for another crosser, and clearly that is not only a pick, that is a wipeout. And Antonio knows it. But when you see a man-to-man team, you like to run crossing routes. One is a depth setter. The other one comes underneath the depth setter. That time, Gates was a little bit too generous on the rub.
Well, the holding flag on Harris. The offensive pass interference on Gates has taken them out of field goal range. As Rivers retreats, screens it to Ronnie Brown. He gets to the 37. From here, a field goal would be 55 yards. And the career long for Novak is 53. So that's what Norv Turner and company will consider as we flip sides after one. Broncos and Peyton Manning only ran 8 plays in that first quarter. Turnovers allowed San Diego to go up 10. Some great quarterbacks in the house tonight. Of course, Dan Fouts, the terrific Charger, never won a championship. John Elway finally got his championship here in San Diego. If Peyton Manning, who waited 9 years until he won a championship in Indianapolis, this is year 9 for Phillip Rivers with San Diego. Will he go down as Dan Fouts with unbelievable stats in the Hall of Fame, but no title? Or will he go down as the others, the champion quarterback? His team's up 10-0 and punting here on this fourth down. And Cypher's able to send it right down to Darryl Stuckey. Puts it down at the 3-yard line. And it'll be 97 yards for the future Hall of Famer Manning to deal with. As Cyphers, known for his big legs, this time puts it down just right. That's why you haven't seen much of Peyton Manning so far. Only 8 plays because the Broncos special teams have lost a punt return and a kickoff return via the fumble. It's the first time that's happened in the first quarter of a game since 2001. It was the Philadelphia Eagles back 11 seasons ago. Now backed up at their own 3. Out of the end zone, Manning throws complete. And it's Joel Dreesen to the 8-yard line, gain of 5.
Eric Weddle, the Pro Bowl safety of the Chargers, playing cat and mouse with Peyton Manning. Showing blitz, running out of there, showing blitz and blitzing. Eric Weddle's going to move around all night tonight and try to confuse Manning and this Charger offense.
Second down, is a swing out McGahee in the open field. It is Weddle with the shutdown, the takedown, a gain of 1.
Everybody talks about Weddle leading the NFL since 2011 with 9 interceptions. Not many people talk about Weddle as an open field tackler. Excellent job by Weddle coming out of the middle of the field and tackling Willis McGahee in a one-on-one situation. That's big time.
Third and 4, they rush for him. Manning's got to check it again. McGahee's got a first down, and it's some more. There goes McGahee in the open field, tripped up at the 40. A gain of 31, and if Atari Bigby didn't tackle him, he may have gone all the way.
Big play by Willis McGahee. Going to be a check down. Manning's going to look to his right. He's going to reset, push forward. He knows exactly where all 5 eligibles are, and McGahee is tapped out of the game, and they got the rookie Ronnie Hillman in at tailback now.
Third round pick out of San Diego State. Quick shot, Stokely for 13 yards. That big third down with McGahee gets this offense rolling. And now in San Diego territory for the first time.
Better not disguise too much if you leave a receiver uncovered. That ball's coming out quick. Nice job by Manning.
Manning going quick. Here's the rookie out of San Diego State, Hillman, who's got a little burst. Weddle pulls him down at the very last second, but a flag's down, back by the quarterback.
Holding, 67 of the offense. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
It's Dan Cope in the center. John, you were very excited about Hillman coming out of this neighborhood school here.
Really was. This is just a puppy. He played 2 years at San Diego State, dominated statistically, an outstanding receiver. He's got to grow up fast and become the complement to Willis McGahee. He's got to learn his protections better. He's got to become a more viable receiver. He's got to handle this no-huddle offense better and better as the weeks unfold. But he's got talent.
And he's the number 2 guy because no Sean Moreno is inactive again. 4 weeks in a row. Hillman with the carry to the 45-yard line. Now, let's take the bigger picture of that. Number 1, it's Moreno coming off an ACL injury. You figure he would be a great 1-2 punch with McGahee. But Hillman has taken that role, and McGahee is not used to playing every down. So situations like this where Manning keeps it out on the field, doesn't huddle, when McGahee tapped out after the long run, it's 4 or 5 plays so you can get back on the field. And Manning throwing. Decker trying to break back to the ball, wanted a flag on Kaysen for holding him. None comes. It'll be 3rd down.
That's that vaunted one-back play-action pass that Peyton Manning has run for years. That time he's looking for Decker one-on-one with Kaysen, who's in bumping and run coverage. They're looking for the back shoulder fade ball. Good work by Kaysen. McGahee's back.
Matthew Willis in as the extra receiver. They need to get to the 38 of the Chargers to keep the drive alive. Manning's throw is caught by Decker. He's got a lot more room to go, and he's taken down. First hit by Corey Lynch. He was in there when they put 6 DBs in the game, and then Marcus Gilchrist finished him off.
Well, I thought that was trouble for Manning. Watch Eric Decker come running back to the quarterback to keep the separation from Antoine Kaysen. Those are scary throws when you're a little bit late to the outside. Good work by Decker coming back for the football. Penalties will kill you in big games, in any game.
Eric Weddle's going back to catch the punt of Britton Colquitt. Going to go easy on Eddie Royo, who's been slowed by an injury this week. Weddle, a veteran punt returner. Muffed it! They had talked about they feel comfortable with Weddle just being back there to catch the ball in situations like this. And that knuckleball was muffed by the veteran. They recovered. From America's 8th largest city, 1.3 million people live in San Diego. We send you the aerial coverage tonight, brought to you by DirecTV. You get a look at Qualcomm Stadium, used to be known as the Murph. A little bit of a marine layer laying out there. It's about 9 to 10 miles as the crow flies from the Pacific Ocean. Rivers and the Chargers up 10. And Matthews has carried almost every time. There's been a San Diego run, gets about 2 yards. So Phillip Rivers, we told you he wanted Peyton Manning in the division, said you can't win this division with 9 anymore. You're going to have to step up the level. Rivers struggled here early tonight, but a couple of turnovers gave him the ball in the red zone to start drives. They turned it into 10 points. Manning and the Broncos had their most sustained drive just a moment ago.
I didn't think Phillip Rivers was going to say, I don't want him in the division. I'm scared of Manning. He wants to see the best the opposition has. He's got tremendous confidence in himself.
That hard count by Rivers got Doomerville. And
False start. Number 17 of the offense.
oh,
5-yard penalty.
another one on Rivers.
Still 2nd down.
So 2 called on Rivers for a false start. And he can't believe it.
Got to be a head bob. See if he bobs his head. I've never seen that called twice in a game like that in my life. It'll be interesting to see what Jeff Triplett's seeing there.
The first one was clearly that point of emphasis with the hands, but it still wasn't so over the top. And that one, it was a hard count. Matthews on the run up the middle. And Wesley Woodyard makes the tackle. Gained about 3 yards. We always have Jerry Austin with us, twice the Super Bowl referee. Jerry, let's talk about that.
Well, I know the emphasis is on the hands, but the hands has got to be more exaggerated than what we saw, in my opinion. And also the head bob, I didn't think the head bob was sufficient.
There's the head bob that he called for that false start.
And I think they're jumping on the hard count.
Thank you, Jerry. And Certainly that's got to be the quarterback's mind, because as you said, John, that's so much of what the Chargers do successfully to draw those offsides with pass rushers like Miller and Doomerville. Miller came off that side, and the flag's thrown, and Rivers going to, who are you going to call it on now?
He's going to get me.
He's going to get me again? I think this one's on Miller.
Neutral zone infraction, number 58 for the defense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Phillip Rivers will not let up. You might not agree with the calls, but listen to this. Got to watch the football. Don't watch a quarterback's head or hands. Watch the football and get off on the ball. Both sides.
The 5-3 ones make it a much more manageable 3rd and 5. Adjusting the protection at the line of scrimmage as Rivers drops back. The pocket collapses. He hangs in there and gets Gates for a first down close to the 30-yard line. Look at the pushing and shoving with Mike Adams and Gates throwing haymakers here, and flags come down both ways. Adams was pulling at the ball. Gates didn't like it, and they went after each other right away as Adams' helmet was ripped off in the fracas.
Gates runs a lot of crossing routes. This time he whips it back to the outside. Gets the first down.
Over. Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Number 20 of the defense. 15 yards after the end of the play. Automatic first down.
Very often the second guy gets caught, and that time they got the first guy who started the extracurricular in Adams, and it adds 15 to the good gain of 12 by Gates.
And once again, Mike, 3rd down and long yardage situations plague this Denver defense. I coached against John Fox. I used to consider punting on 3rd and 10. They've given up far too many long yardage conversions on 3rd down, and it's killing them. Look out for another shot right here by Rivers.
You okay? Shit, let's go to 57. 180? 57. Right. Hey, hot, 90. 57, single. Read hot.
Rivers, deep drop, loading up. There's the shot downfield for Gates, who comes over the safety's head, and it's taken away by Jim Leonard. And what's it rule? Let's say a flag is thrown as Leonard spiked the ball in the field of play. Should be a Leonard interception. But let's see if the flag is for the spike on a delay of game. Offensive pass interference will let them sort it out. But Gates went over the back of the veteran Leonard to come up with the interception, or come up with the reception, and Leonard got the interception.
Maybe a simultaneous possession, Mike.
Speak you're on your own there. Here's the call.
That's defense's ball.
There is an interception by the defense. After the play is over, delay of game, defense for spiking the ball into the ground. After distance to the goal, automatic first down.
All right, good clean call, as Jerry was starting to tell us there. It is defense's ball as Jim Leonard, the former Bill, Raven, and the Jet, comes up with his 7th career pick. Gates trying to go over the top, and Leonard hung on. Conversation continuing there. Phillip Rivers, Norv Turner talking with the officials after Rivers throws that interception. Put it up there, the shot play you said, John. But he got hit as he threw the ball downfield.
Yeah, I thought number 95, Derek Wolfe, led with his helmet. But he went to the side just in time. Good call by the official. Let's see if Peyton Manning can get something going. They've been deep in their own territory all night.
Because of the delay of game flag, even though Weddle spiked the ball without the clock moving, still a correct call. They begin from their own 5, and McGahee on another check down swings out for nearly 10 yards right near that first down.
And Willis McGahee, who came in tonight with over 190 career catches. This shows you what a versatile back he is. Let's see how long the veteran back can go. They don't want him to leave the field tonight.
First down picked up on the gain and sent it to McGahee on the run. He runs into the middle of that defensive line.
San Diego's much improved on defense. They're stronger. They're faster. They've added Jarrett Johnson, the ex-Baltimore Raven. He's an outstanding run defender. Right through that D gap, I call it, between the two tight ends, and he pierces across the line of scrimmage for a big tackle for loss.
You see, Peyton, you got him. Make it that simple. It's all yours. Now you can release and get out. As Manning throws it wide open is Decker. Eric Decker off to the races. He tripped over the 45-yard line, but was untouched, got up, and gets to the 30. So in all, it's a gain of 55 for Decker, who had a touchdown, but he tripped.
Inexcusable. San Diego gave up 3 passes of 40 yards or more last week, and I have no idea what Quentin Jammer's doing on the right side here. Manning sees the pressure coming. He orchestrates the pass protection, which is tremendous. Manning comes out of the fake, and there's no one home.
Good awareness to still get up, even though he was knowing he was untouched, even though he wasn't able to get to the end zone. McGahee goes up the middle and keeps it pushing forward for 4 yards as Vaughn Martin is over there on the tackle.
We'll take a look at the route, Mike. Quentin Jammer, number 23, just a little double move, and Jammer looks like he's expecting help. But Jammer's the guy who got double moved last week against Drew Brees for the record, and Manning can't believe that Decker lost his feet.
That was my 411th career touchdown you just tripped on. 2nd and 6. Manning over the top, off the hands and incomplete as he tried to get it to Joel Gleason, the tight end. So, John, that play before the big hit to Decker, we could hear Manning just saying, you got him. And then that play, we saw Manning communicating quickly to play. Not everybody on the same page just yet. He's trying to keep him going as quickly as possible. And again, has him at the line right away, trying to catch the Chargers before they can sub.
That's the most magical quality he has. He understands these protections better than most offensive coordinators.
McGahee came out. Ronnie Hillman's in. Bunch formation to the left. Pressure picked up, but not picked up was the adjustment by the receiver Willis and Quentin Jammer. By Manning. Inside the 10. Touchdown!
You get blitzed. Somebody has to be a hot receiver or run a side adjustment. We saw the same thing happen in Dallas 2 weeks ago to Tony Romo and Dez Bryant. Number 12, Matthew Willis, a young receiver, sneaks in the ball game. The blitz comes off the weak side. Manning is expecting a side adjustment. It doesn't happen. I would not want to be Matthew Willis when Manning walks over there to the sideline. Double A gap blitz, they bring 4 to a side, and Willis didn't adjust the route. When they overload you, this route must convert to a hitch or a slant. Willis didn't see it that way. That's a big problem for the Denver Broncos.
And a great job of finishing here by the Chargers as they continue to block downfield. The stutter step moves. McGahee was checking it. We have to check if Jammer's out of bounds or not on this step here. 1-2 looked okay. That step very close to the goal line will have to be looked at in all likelihood. Well, they've given the thumbs up and confirmed the touchdown. Manning intercepted 3 times in the first quarter against Atlanta 4 weeks ago on Monday night. Had not been intercepted until that time. And the 5th-year man out of UCLA, Willis, very little experience on the field, doesn't catch the adjustment. Jammer has his first career touchdown.
And these San Diego Chargers continue to have Peyton Manning's number.
Number 162 in the regular season career of Quentin Jammer, former first-round pick out of Texas, his first NFL touchdown. And he takes one from the sheriff, Peyton Manning. Takes it back for an 80-yard pick six. And one more time, the Broncos are digging out of a big hole, 17-0. And what a 14-point swing. Think about it. Decker was on his way with nobody in front of him for the touchdown. Tripped on his own. And a couple of plays later, it's Manning with a pick six. A return by Omar Bolden, the 22.
Well, when you make hand signals and there's a lot of nonverbal communication, you have to be on the same page. Whether it's Manning or Willis or the both of them, little mistakes in terms of nonverbal communication can become big mistakes. They miss a side adjustment. Manning is expecting a conversion. Willis didn't see it that way. When you throw the ball a lot in a sophisticated pass offense with side adjustments, you better be dialed in.
Chris Clark is playing right tackle. Orlando Franklin, who was on the field a moment ago, out for Denver as McGahee loses a yard. So we get to 17-0 San Diego. There was several mistakes here by the Broncos, a couple on special teams. And defensive coordinator John Pagano, the brother of Chuck Pagano, the Indianapolis head coach, who, as many of you know, is battling leukemia, is in a hospital in Indianapolis. John Pagano, longtime assistant here with the Chargers over a decade. First year as the defensive coordinator, and his team comes up with a big play. The 21, it's caught by Tammy, taken down quickly by Atari Bigby.
Atari Bigby's done a lot of good things here for the Chargers. Their leading tackler, the ex-Green Bay Packers Seattle Seahawk, can cover tight ends. He helps them underneath in their sub package, and he still is a big hitter. Watch him drive on Jacob Tammy. Man, I like to see full speed, break and drive tackles. Good work by Bigby.
San Diego, a half dozen DBs. The 4 rush. They get to Manning, who just gets rid of it towards McGahee and is incomplete. Vaughn Martin starting the pressure back at the quarterback, and it's 4th down.
Vaughn Martin, Corey Legit, up the middle pressure, and they're stunting a lot. Peyton Manning can't step up, too much penetration. San Diego's all over Denver right now, Mike, in all 3 phases.
The last punt was muffed by Eric Weddle. Eddie Royal back deep for the Britton Cold quick kick this time. Pick 50 on the nose with good hang time. Against his old team, Royal seeking space. Tackle 34, tackled by Lance Ball. Peyton Manning was taking the Broncos down the field to make it a 3-point game. Instead, the pick on the miscommunication went the other way. Now the hole is 17. San Diego already has 2 wins in the division. The opening Monday night, they beat Oakland and then beat Kansas City. So trying to get 1 win over each team in the division and take a 2-game edge into their bye week. What a great start. Up 17-0. The opportunistic Charger first half so far, and Ryan Matthews carries. That is his 11th carry of the game.
And if you look in that Denver huddle on defense right now, they're in their sub package. They have a light group out there. Dumerville's an undersized defensive end. A number of defensive backs, and New England ran the ball right at this light sub defense of the Broncos. Look for more of that tonight.
And what they just do? They brought in Justin Bannon and Kevin Vickerson, 97 and 99, with 2 defensive tackles.
They got to load up to try to stop the run in this sub package.
And Rivers thus goes to the air on 2nd and 5 and finds Gates again. Antonio, Johnny said before the game, needs to get him going. Having a good night, the touchdown, and now 4 receptions on the evening.
He's one of the greatest tight ends of all time. We know that, but he's had a history of foot problems. This time it's just a little stick to the outside, and as soon as Gates gives Rivers his eye contact, the ball is thrown right between the numbers. But if they can get Antonio Gates back to where he was pre-foot injury, Chargers are dangerous.
The 46ers, Matthews running between the tackles into Bronco territory at the 49-yard line.
Just look at the surge. That's the play the Patriots ran repeatedly last week against this light defense. They're just going to run a plunge play right up the middle to the right side. Ryan Matthews right off that double team. Hardwick, Tyrone Green. That's a 5-yard run, but those take a toll as the game goes on. Denver can ill afford to give up more points before the break.
52, 52. 52 loose. Man, 52.
Mark him right at midfield, so it's 2nd and 6 for Rivers. Inside move by Von Miller. McMichael on the outside. Good open field tackle by Chris Harris. Now, John, I'm seeing 52 out there. Wesley Woodyard, the special team guy. He's got the C for captain on his chest. He's playing a lot more linebacker. They missed DJ Williams, the 8-year linebacker, with all those starts. 2 different suspensions, 9 games he's missing this season. Performance-enhancing drugs and a drunk driving incident. Don't get him back until the 2nd game against the Chargers. And Jack Del Rio's defense missing him again tonight. 17-0, Denver down as we hit the 2-minute warning in San Diego. Chris Berman standing by for the Toyota halftime show. Chris Morton and Adam Schefter will join him. The soundtracks from Sunday of that Baltimore-Dallas game was exciting to watch and disappointing in result with Ray Lewis out for the season. Thinking of you, Ray, one of the stalwarts in the NFL. And Jonathan Vilma, will he play on Sunday, now off the physically unable to perform list? The guys will have all the stories on the Toyota halftime show at the 2-minute mark here in the first half. And Rivers steps up in the pocket, lofting it for Gates, and a flag down as the coverage there with Jim Leonard and Danny Trevathan draws a flag.
It looked to me like Gates got mugged that time. They are up in his uniform.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 59. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
They're covering the right guy. They continue to commit penalties. And you don't want to give Phillip Rivers another bullet because he might use it on you.
On-the-job training here, the 6th-round pick, the rookie out of Kentucky, Trevathan, who had only played 28 total snaps on defense in the first 5 weeks. Like we said before the 2-minute warning, missing DJ Williams continues to impact this team. Matthews makes a man miss. Tackled by Woodyard. And a first down at the 34-yard line.
Runs against the sub defense. A very creative shotgun running team. Watch McMichael, number 81, slide across the formation. They run a zone play to the left. Cross buck action into shotgun, giving the ball to a hungry back. Watch the finish by Matthews. Protect the ball. That ball's getting away from his body, Mike. So one thing he has to do, protect the ball, stay healthy. He could be a great one.
John Fox runs down and gets a timeout as Denver only had 10 players on the field before that snap. Well, if you're just tuning in, this game looked like it was on the way to 10-7. A bust in the coverage by San Diego. Eric Decker was free for the touchdown to make it a 3-point game.
Unbelievable. That's a slam dunk, breakaway dunk touchdown. He slips, and on the next play, a sight adjustment breakdown, and Quentin Jammer makes Denver pay. You get very few opportunities in this league to cash in. And if you have a breakaway slam dunk, you have to make those routine plays. That could come back and cost Denver, not only tonight, but at the end of the season.
And earlier, Denver with a kickoff and a punt fumbled, but the Chargers turned into their first 10 points. So you look at the scoreboard as Matthews carries to the 30-yard line, 1:15 on a rolling clock, and you say 17-0 is Denver defense that gave up those 89 plays and 35 first downs to the Patriots. They're struggling again. Not necessarily. They haven't played great, but they've been put in some very tough spots by special teams and the offensive mistake. Keep running it with Matthews to the 25-yard line. 3 seconds left. North Turner and company keeping the clock rolling here. And now we'll take a timeout. They waited a long time to get to it at the 47-second mark here in the first half. Well, this week we lost Alex Karras, 77, terrific player for the Detroit Lions, part of their fearsome foursome, and then part of that great trio with Howard Cosell and Frank Gifford in the Monday night booth, 74 to 76, those 3 years. He was in Blazing Saddles, Webster on TV. Alex Karras brought personality, style, and class. One of the 20 people to be full-time as one of the men in the Monday Night Football booth. And it's We lost Don Meredith last year and Alex Karras now. So sad. And our thoughts to all who were around and knew Alex Karras. Very good man.
Prayers out to the Karras family. He made me laugh.
Darn good player, too. 4-time Pro Bowler. Sad to see Alex Karras pass. 3rd and 1. Hard count by Rivers. They give it to Jackie Battle for the first time. He's close to the first down. Got the first down here. The clock running at 37. Now 35 seconds. It stopped with a timeout.
And this has been a physical drive by the Charger offense. And it's a component that the Chargers have had around here, Mike. You remember the LT, LaDainian Tomlinson days when they had Chris Thielman in here at guard and Marcus McNeil. They used to run that power play behind Lorenzo Neal. It was vicious. And if San Diego can get back to that balanced attack, the sting of these play-action passes and obviously a much-improved defense makes San Diego a legitimate threat in the AFC.
We talked about that offensive line. You mentioned Thielman and McNeil. Really, this time last year, they didn't know the whole left side of their offensive line was going to retire because of injury, a neck and a concussion for McNeil and Thielman, respectively. So they've had to kind of patchwork it on the left side. Gaither's out tonight. The rookie out of UCLA, Mike Harris, has done a good job so far. 35 seconds, 1 timeout left. Rivers has Ronnie Brown out of the backfield. Chase to the sideline, gets out of bounds at the 10. Gain to 13.
Boy, give left tackle Mike Harris, an undrafted rookie free agent, credit for blocking Elvis Dumerville one-on-one on a bull rush. Anchor down, big fella. I'm really impressed with the work of Mike Harris tonight against a very good pass rusher. Undrafted. Norv Turner had no expectation that this would be a starting left tackle this early in the season.
Played all the preseason because the perpetually injured Gaither was again. And got some good experience in his first 3 games. So 29 seconds. They can get a first down at the 1. 1 timeout left. Just beating the play clock is Rivers. Over the middle for Gates. A touchdown again. Number 2 on the night.
Phillip Rivers saw that blitz the whole way. He saw Jim Leonard stack the slot receiver Antonio Gates. He audibles and he burns the blitz. You have a quarterback that can read the looks and take the preparation that Norv Turner works on all week to game day. And you have a tight end like Antonio Gates, he'll beat one-on-one coverage every time. Gates is probably shocked. He hasn't seen that coverage probably in 6 years.
Extra point added by Nick Novak, number 51. Touchdown pass. Rivers to Gates.
Well, he sees the blitz coming. He has the expectation that the blitz is coming off the edge. And he audibles. He changes the protection. He changes the route. There comes the blitz, and you get Antonio Gates one-on-one with Jim Leonard. It's over. What an outstanding drive. And how about that quick release by Rivers? Everybody talks about that awkward delivery he has. That ball comes out as fast as any quarterback in pro football, and that's just great preparation, execution, and it's been a dominating first half.
We've often talked about the story of the Rivers, even going back to his North Carolina State days when we covered him. He was a son of a coach, and he'd go to football practice with his dad. The football was just too heavy and too big for Phillip. That's how that quick release, that little awkward look, he had to push it out. But man, he practiced and practiced. It gets out fast and is delivered on the spot.
He told us Antonio Gates was feeling much better. He's practicing all the time. We got to get him going. We got to get him the ball. He said it 7 times to me on the bus yesterday. He means it.
No return for Bolden. And the drive will start at the 20. So Antonio Gates, as you were talking about, John, with all of his success, one of the great tight ends historically in this Norv Turner offense over the years. And there he is with the numbers passed. Ozzie Newsome, the Hall of Famer, continuing to try to keep pace and close in on Jason Witten. Tony Gonzalez still going strong, setting the mark. Peyton Manning and the Broncos were down big to Gonzalez and the Falcons on a Monday night. But they're going to get the ball to start the third quarter down 24. It's the largest halftime deficit, matches the largest halftime deficit Peyton Manning has faced in his NFL career. A Denver team that's been down 20 or more in all their losses have a similar hole to climb out of. Down 24-0 as we send it to Chris in the Toyota halftime show. Oh, they like it so far here in San Diego, except for the third quarter. Chargers trying to take a 2-game lead in the division. Lead the Broncos 24-0. Denver gets the ball back to start the third. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Lisa Salters on the sideline. If you're just joining us, we'll just take everyone to how this game got started, because San Diego's 10-0 lead, really mistakes by the Broncos and special teams. We start with Trendon Holiday, just signed on Wednesday. Muffs the punt recovered by the Chargers, leads to a field goal. Then the ensuing kickoff, Omar Bolden doesn't feel it cleanly. Fumble recovered by the Chargers, Rivers to Gates, and it's 10-0. And John, add that to the pick six and what the San Diego defense has done to Peyton Manning. That's why the score's lopsided right now.
San Diego's doing a great job disguising their looks. They're showing one coverage and playing another. And if you look at it, it's been a cat and mouse game throughout the night. That's going to continue into the second half. Here's a 6-man box. Manning thinks it's okay to run the ball, and Eric Weddle says, I'll become the 7th and I'll stuff this run. And then as you just keep watching the game, it's a split safety look. Doesn't look like it's going to be a blitz, but here it comes, and Manning throws the ball hot into the flat. Atari Bigby rotates. There's nothing after the catch. And then later, Manning thinks Copen's working to the right. Could have picked this up had he gone right, but when he sends Copen to the left, the Broncos are one short. Manning is expecting a sight adjustment by number 12, Matthew Willis. It didn't happen. They aren't on the same page in terms of who's hot, who's not. And against a veteran like Quentin Jammer, it's going to hurt you real bad. It's important that Denver regroups coming out here to start this third quarter and get something quickly and try to get some momentum back in on this sideline.
Well, it's a feeling they know. They were down 24 last week to New England, 31-7. They've had huge deficits throughout the start of this 2-3 season. Omar Bolden from 6 deep. Turn 20, only to the 14. Here's Lisa Salters.
Hey, Mike, well, I asked John Fox why the offense looked so out of sync. And he said, you know, we couldn't run the ball, and it just made us one-dimensional. He said if you looked at it, they had about 150 yards of total offense. So did we. The difference were our mistakes. I asked him what he thought when Eric Decker apparently tripped over his own 2 feet, botching what looked like it was going to be a short touchdown. He paused and said, I don't think I can really say on TV. Norv Turner said we got to keep doing the same thing we were doing. Keep Peyton Manning out of sync. Keep him out of rhythm. Our thing has been attack. We got to just keep attacking. Mike.
Good stuff, Lisa. Thank you. Lisa told us late half that Orlando Franklin was out with a hamstring injury. He has returned. The Denver right tackle to start this third quarter. Manning will start, throwing to Joel Dreesen. First down gain of a dozen for Dreesen. We talked about the Broncos, and it's a very familiar place, unfortunately, for Manning and the Broncos, as they have trailed by 20-plus 3 times already this season. And that Steeler game, they came back, they only down 6 at that point, but 20 to the Falcons and the Texans, 24 to the Pats, and now a 4th time tonight, 24. McGahee on the right.
And stop the run. The #1 goal of this Charger defense, stop the run. And then get pressure on Peyton Manning. Hold your disguises. Don't let him know what we're doing. So far, they've done all 3 of those things extremely well.
Demaryius Thomas has been quiet. The top pass threat in terms of receivers, 1 catch, 8 yards tonight. Great pickup of the blitz by McGahee. The pass complete to Joel Dreesen at the 47-yard line.
They keep blitzing. It's going to be a strong side blitz. They're going to bring the inside linebacker, the outside backer. McGahee does a great job sliding underneath Peyton Manning and taking it to Takeo Spikes.
It's a 10-year vet spilling a 15-year vet. McGahee on Spikes. On first down, Chargers rushing 4. Here comes McGahee, another catch out in the backfield. It's not going to go anywhere. Antoine Cason and Donald Butler has really become a very significant factor in this Charger defense, as John mentioned early in the game.
Last year, he couldn't play in their sub package. They had Niall Diggs. They had Takeo Spikes playing in their sub. Donald Butler will not come off the field, and he's going to be an outstanding Charger if this continues.
Out of the University of Washington, Butler. Manning Tom. Manning throws. Complete for another first down. It's Decker to the 39-yard line of the Chargers.
I like that route. I think Decker has a vertical read. He can take it deep if there's no free safety. If the free safety's deep, he's going to throw his shoulders down, come right back to Peyton Manning. Good anticipation and throw by the Sheriff. Important. Denver finishes the drive. They've had penalties break them down, turnovers break them down. They got to get something on the board.
McGahee out. Rookie out of San Diego State, 20-year-old Ronnie Hillman the back. And Peyton had to look back just to make sure the rookie knows what he's doing here. Play action, picking up the pressure. Manning rolls to his right. He drills that all the time to prepare for in-game opportunities like that. Finding Dreesen close to a first down.
Really impressed with the way Denver has picked up the Charger blitzes to start this third quarter. That time it's going to be a cross-dog blitz. Spikes and Butler, and young Ronnie Hillman says, I'll pick up blitzes as well. Some excellent blitz pickups by the Bronco backs have really aided this drive.
Number 29, here goes Hillman, stumbled towards the line, and no gain for Ronnie.
You pointed out Demaryius Thomas been awful quiet. Not only has he been productive on the stat sheet, he's been incredible after the catch. He's been able to take short passes the distance. I just have a feeling Denver needs to set him up with something quickly.
McGahee back in. Over the top, Manning, Thomas, touchdown. There you go, Coach.
Well, that post-corner post route, not many guys can run that. I used to run that with Jerry Rice and Tim Brown. You have to really be an outstanding pattern runner to run this route. And Thomas is just a kid. He's played in 3 different offenses in 3 years. Post, corner, post, and he takes it to Jammer. I love what Denver did coming out to start this third quarter. They keep their poise. They get right back in the ball game. And Demaryius Thomas, get him on your fantasy team.
I think too many people have him already. You got to fleece somebody in a trade to get Thomas.
That's a great route.
Matt Frater on the extra point. Well, it looked like he had it in the second quarter, but here in the third, Peyton Manning gets touchdown pass. 4-1-1 on his career. It was a solid drive for Manning. 8 plays, 85 yards in the TD. From the swamps of Jersey, 2,800 miles to sunny San Diego, our Monday Night Football crew bringing all of our equipment, the good people, to come see Peyton Manning in San Diego, a place where he has struggled and did in the first half, but perfect drive there. 6 of 6 to Demaryius Thomas with a 3rd touchdown reception of the year, and now it is 24-7. So this is a very familiar script. Denver has fallen behind by these huge numbers, climbed back into games, but not able to get all the way back and finish. Richard Goodman on the kickoff return. 15 and not much more, so well covered. Now the Denver defense will be called on. And they slow down Ryan Matthews, the Chargers offense that's seen Rivers and Gates hook up for 2 first-half TDs. Well, who can make plays for the Denver defense? 92 Elvis Dumerville, 58 Von Miller. Thus far been held in check.
Got to credit young Mike Harris anchoring down against the bull rush. One-on-one pass protection on the touchdown to Gates. He held his own. Again, good patience, good pass sets. He's done a nice job in one-on-one situations against Dumerville. If I'm on that Broncos sideline, I'm challenging Dumerville, Von Miller, Champ Bailey. It's time right now with momentum on the Broncos side to get a quick stop and get the ball back to Manning.
That running conversation, Nick Hardwick, the center, Phillip Rivers, the quarterback, as Matthews stumbles to the hole, and Mike Adams, the safety, who was signed as a free agent from the Cleveland Browns with a gain just 2 yards. John, the best drive that San Diego put together was the last drive. That was the 10-play drive leading for a touchdown. North Turner's team went 66 yards. Other than that, the other 17 points scored by San Diego off of the turnovers.
And North Turner wants to be balanced. He wants long possession drives. He wants Manning right where he is right now on the sideline.
Stay with 58.
The 2nd and 7, Miller lurking, dropping in coverage as Rivers throws that vacated area. He completes it to Malcolm Floyd in front of Mike Adams for a first down. That's the 2nd catch of the night, John, for Floyd.
And Rivers is frustrating this Bronco defense. Good running game. Quick, high percentage passes. And then he lures you in with the double move down the field bombs. But Rivers has been solid. A little jittery early. Been outstanding as of late.
5-7, get through. You're okay.
Rivers has hit his last 5 after that early slow start. Big hole, Matthews up the middle. Doesn't first down yards. Mike Adams takes it.
He's going to run the stretch play if they're 2 tight ends, and it's just poor defense. I think Brookings overruns this play. Just a zone stretch to the left side and good backside blocking and a poor run fit by this Bronco defense. They gave up 251 yards rushing last week, and based on the last 15 to 20 snaps, this Charger offense is physically taking it to the Broncos right now.
Game 211 for Keith Brookings. Long-time Atlanta Falcon. 49, Jackie Battle comes to the outside. He's stopped with the field tackle by Raheem Moore, the safety.
That's one thing I've noticed with this Bronco defense. There's their 2 leading tacklers. Raheem Moore is their leading tackler, and Mike Adams is their 2nd leading tackler. These 2 safeties are making a lot of tackles for the Bronco defense. They need to get somebody in the front 7 involved. Need a negative play created by the Bronco front.
Let's go, Rocket, 59.
It's been a steady pattern for San Diego. A first down run, followed by a 2nd down pass. Here's 2nd and 8. And they get it to Eddie Royal. Screen, and Royal comes up the numbers into Bronco territory for the first down.
The 3rd screen tonight. They've thrown 2 to backs, now 1 to Eddie Royal. And when you get the running game going, you can run a play action to Ronnie Brown, bring the linebackers to Ronnie Brown, throw a quick screen to Eddie Royal with blockers out front. It's just good design by North Turner. Good work on the perimeter, blocking by the Chargers. Creative screen pass offense. It really slows this rush of the Broncos down.
57. 390.
And from the 47, it'll be another run with Matthews. Waiting for him is Chris Harris on the corner. There'll be no gain. If you're just tuning in late, we mentioned Chris Harris is starting. Tracy Porter was sick when he got to the Broncos facility on Sunday, not feeling very well, and the medical staff decided he shouldn't travel here to San Diego. You also have not seen Joe Mays a lot, 51, linebacker for this team, who didn't play much in that first game against Pittsburgh. They got him on the field against Atlanta. Mays, remember, had that big hit on Matt Schaub and was suspended for a game. He was on the field a ton against New England, but we've seen barely any defensive snaps from Mays, mostly special teams tonight.
The alert for the hard count. Rivers has used it a lot.
Screen, Matthews. And peeling off the initial tackle was Vickerson, who was sent to the quarterback on the screen and doubled back for the tackle.
It's a nice play by Vickerson. When you start to rush the passer and you read the screen, you better get on your horse and go get the back. Watch Vickerson recognize the screen and go get the screening back. Good effort. I love to see big fellas read and react. Nice work.
And 3rd down, Vickerson comes out, get more of the pass rushers out there, including the rookie out of Cincinnati, Derek Wolfe. Can somebody make a play for the Broncos on 3rd and 8? From the rushing 5, Rivers has time. McMichael puts it on the ground. Leonard couldn't recover. And would you believe Ronnie Brown got there to the ball and got it for a first down? Mike Adams seemed to knock it out. Looked like Leonard was going to get his second turnover of the night, but Brown was on the spot and a first down. It was one of those that was very close to, wasn't even a reception, as McMichael came across the middle.
Well, they're looking for the scoop and score. It's clearly a fumble, I believe. Adams knocks the ball out with his right hand. Ball's going to be on the floor. Get down and recover this at the 40-yard line. I think Jim Leonard's going to go for the scoop and score, and it costs him.
And Ronnie Brown helps out there. It's a good push by Ronnie Brown there, going for the pile. First fumble by McMichael in 7 years, since 2005. But it's not a fumble lost. As Matthews carries, John, we talked about this all weekend. The Broncos seem to have this, oh my gosh, we're having fumble problems. We're having fumble problems. They've lost a couple tonight. San Diego's fumbled just as much. The difference is the Broncos have lost every one of theirs, and San Diego's not.
Yeah, Denver is either unlucky or they got to have a drill on how to recover a fumble. Right there, Jim Leonard's got to curl up in a fetal position around that football. I know a lot of guys make a living scooping and scoring, but when you got Peyton Manning on the sideline, go down in the fetal position and curl around the ball and give it back to Manning.
Rivers, another second down pass, deep drop, and a shot downfield, incomplete for the tight end, Dante Rosario, who caught 3 touchdowns against Tennessee earlier this year.
Blitz situation, and Rosario, who had, as you said, the 3 scores against the Titans, just a little move to the outside and back to the post. Looked like he had an option to go to the corner or the post and may have fooled Rivers there. There's so much verbiage in this Charger offense. I thought I had a lot of verbiage. I don't know how Phillip Rivers spits this stuff out.
Are Norv's plays longer than yours?
A lot longer. A lot more of them, too.
In field goal range, just at the edge of it on 3rd and 8. Rivers hit as he throws. The ball is free. Another loose one. This one is scooped, and it may score with Tony Carter, who is free and all the way home for a game-changing score.
I told you to scoop and score. I tell you what, don't listen to me. That's why I'm out of the profession. But Elvis Dumerville just turned this game around. Jeremy Clary at right tackle. John Fox calls a blitz. He creates a one-on-one, and his prize pupil delivers.
It's a 65-yard score. If it holds up, it's a scoring play and a turnover, so it gets reviewed. So let's watch Rivers as he throws to see if it's a fumble.
We'll take a look at it. You bring pressure off the left side. You create a one-on-one situation, and Dumerville does what he's done for a long time. That's a fumble, and that's a impact, game-changing turnover for the Bronco defense.
It will be looked at by Jeff Triplett here. He'll come over to the hood. You saw the empty hand come through. Usually that's a signal. That's a fumble and a live ball. And if it stands, Tony Carter has his first NFL touchdown. We've got a much tighter game. See Norv Turner looking up at the big screen here in San Diego. It's an in-house enhancement for the fan experience. They're looking at exactly what Jeff Triplett's looking at under the hood, and Jerry Austin, our referee on crew. What do you see there?
I see he cocked his arm, and before, as he starts to go forward, the ball gets hit. Before his arm goes forward, he does not have possession of the ball when the arm goes forward. Clearly a fumble.
Those are the angles and the replays that Jeff Triplett has been looking at under the hood, and it's 60 seconds of time to look at it. Those 60 seconds are complete. And the official went over there with Jeff Triplett, not doing a heck of a lot of writing on his card. That usually means the play will stand, and we'll have a 24-14 game.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The defensive player hit the quarterback's hand before it starts forward, causing the fumble. It is a touchdown.
Just once I want to hear a guy say, and I called it right live, touchdown. So it's confirmed, and a big flip. Both sides have defensive touchdowns here tonight.
And now look at that Broncos sideline. They were dead. They were out of juice, out of gas at the end of the first half. They're alive and well now. Important that Phillip Rivers, Norv Turner come back out here with their offense and take control of this game again. Don't want to let a good football team off the mat.
Matt Prater for the extra point. 24-14. Chargers seeing 10 cut into their 14 cut in their lead. Down to 10 now. Peyton Manning was watching the play, and come on, Carter, go get your first touchdown in the NFL, you former Florida State Seminole. Rivers heard the review and said, oh, no.
Don't go anywhere.
Look, you don't win a division in your 6th game of the year, but you start thinking about San Diego up 2 and 3-0 in the division. It's a great feeling, and the Broncos will just be moping in their bye week, 13 days off to stew about being 2 and 4. Unless Denver gets a big comeback and wins this game, and then they're all tied, both heading in their bye.
This is the AFC West, Mike. 1960, these 4 teams have been around. It's coming down to the last week. Normally does.
Richard Goodman from a couple of yards deep will take it out. Hit the hole hard at the 20. Trying to strip the ball from him was Nate Irving, the linebacker. There's the 21-yard line. There's Goodman hanging on for dear life there. John, after you had a play like that, a big turnover, you were in good shape, moving the ball up 17. Does that impact your play calling at all?
Yeah, it really does. Obviously, John Fox is going to use enough 5-man pressures to create some one-on-ones for Doomerville and Von Miller. When you get behind in the down and distance against the Broncos and you have a rookie undrafted free agent at left tackle and a struggling right tackle in pass protection, you got to be careful.
Brian Matthews was getting stretched out during the break as they were looking at that replay. He's been a little bit lethargic the last couple of series. Gets involved in some woofing there with Wesley Woodyard as he got no game.
And this is where Jack Del Rio, John Fox want San Diego. Behind in the down and distance. Tonight, Rivers has used a few screens. He's used the hard count. And right now, I would expect Jack Del Rio to fire some kind of a dog to create a one-on-one for Von Miller and Doomerville. Once these pass rushers start feeling it, throw gas on the fire. Give them another look.
Second and 10. Rivers gets it to Matthews. He's about 4 yards to the 26-yard line. Justin Bannon for the Broncos down and injured as he went to make that stop. As they look at Bannon, we'll step out for a minute. Tirico, John Gruden, Lisa Salters back in the stadium that's hosted the 3rd most NFL games. The Giants Stadium and Wrigley Field, 2 places where they no longer play football, have hosted more games than what's now known as Qualcomm Stadium, formerly Jack Murphy Stadium here in San Diego. Bannon helped off by the training staff. 3rd and 5 for Rivers and the Chargers. Good coverage, Rivers in trouble, and will go down. We mentioned Derek Wolfe, the rookie out of Cincinnati. Von Miller also there as he goes down. Miller's slower to get up. The big sack forces a punt.
This Derek Wolfe, he played everywhere for the Cincinnati Bearcats, and that's just how John Fox is using them. This time you're going to see number 95, Derek Wolfe, and number 58, Von Miller, go to work. Just a simple TT stunt, the tackle, and Von Miller cleans it up. The Broncos are alive and well, Mike.
Cypress with the kick. On the bounce, Trendon Holiday just acquired Wednesday. Muffed one earlier, picks it up on the run to the 33. It goes out of bounds at the 44. So very good field position. Will mark him at the 45 as Peyton Manning takes the field. Down 24 at the half. Now down 10. 10, Peyton Manning's back on the field. And John, what's made him a 4-time MVP? Great talent, but unquestioned work ethic.
Maniacal preparation. He looks at every passing concept, and he comes up with his own drill work. I got to have a slide drill. I got to get away from pressure, and I got to slide to my right and make an accurate throw. What he practices happens in a game, and he does it relentlessly over and over and over again. He's come back from a serious injury. I lost Rich Gannon and Shannon Sharp, 2 of my favorite players, to neck injuries. what this kid has done coming back from this injury. He's not coming back from an elbow surgery or a knee surgery, and those are bad. He's coming back from a neck injury. He has the Denver Broncos on the brink of another great comeback.
Richie, of course, your quarterback with the Raiders, and Sterling Sharp, when you were coaching the wide receivers in Green Bay, 4 neck procedures for Peyton Manning. In a long run back, and really even a year ago now, we had visited with him. He had no idea if he'd be able to get back and get on the field. Now he's trying to take his team back from down 24-0. Willis McGahee on the run with a gain of 9.
He's going to try to will it out of Willis McGahee the same way he rode Edgerrin James all those years in Indianapolis. He's going to try to will Willis McGahee to another level of greatness.
Denver had 9 rushing yards before that carry by McGahee. Now on 2 carries, he has 11 yards and a first down for the Broncos. We mentioned going to break that Peyton was down 24-0. His largest halftime deficit was equal tonight. The largest deficit he's overcome to win in the entirety of the game. John, we find every possible way to remind you of this game.
Gee, Merry Christmas.
I'm next to you. I'm not typing it on the screen, but in case you forgot that Monday night in Tampa, a reminder for the 44, Manning. Joel Dreesen, the tight end, did a nice job to stay in bounds. And a gain of 8, and all of a sudden you see a much different life in this Broncos team.
I got to give John Elway a lot of credit. Not only did he bring Peyton Manning here and show a lot of guts, he brought Jacob Tamme, he brought Joel Dreesen, the center, Dan Copen, a number of starters starting and playing well in Denver.
Legend, the Hall of Famer, who got his first of 2 Super Bowls here in San Diego in this stadium. As the run is taken by McGahee, just shy of the first down.
Here comes Hillman in a key 3rd and 1. I'm surprised Willis is leaving the field here on 3rd down and 1. And this is an area that I think Denver has struggled. I'm surprised they don't huddle and get to a play they like. I think Peyton's going to have to throw here.
3rd and 1. How will Hillman handle the pressure? Franklin moves as he saw Sean Phillips moving across the line. So they'll huddle, and the officials will decide who gets the 5-yard flag. Phillips walked down the line.
Both start offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Big penalty. They had a similar problem earlier in the year against Atlanta on 3rd and 1. Phillips is in the neutral zone.
No, he's just walking down the line, and then there's the late reaction by Franklin. As he walks across the line, it's almost as you talk about switching fronts. That movement staying out of the neutral zone keeps the defense legal there. So 3rd and 6 instead. That bunch formation John discussed in the first half. New to this Manning run offense. Got to go quick. Trying to get a timeout, and did.
Weddle. Eric Weddle, Pro Bowl safety, driving Peyton Manning crazy there. Flying around, buzzing around, showing a rotation, back to the split safety look. Smart timeout by Peyton Manning. So take a look at Weddle up here at the top of the screen. He's zigzagging in and out. Is it a blitz? Isn't it a blitz? Remember, Manning threw a sight adjustment interception for a touchdown to these Chargers. This time he's going to say, I'm going to make sure I get the best possible play for my Bronco offense. And Eric Weddle, he's all over the place tonight.
Peyton Manning has gone up against Weddle multiple times. Phillip Rivers has lauded his great safety. Here are the numbers for these two tonight. In their head-to-head, Rivers has defeated Manning's team 4 of their last 5 games. It has been turnovers that have told a big part of the story tonight. 24 of the 38 points scored off turnover.
Same blitz that got him on the interception. Double A's.
It's right over the center, each side of his shoulder. Manning steps up and throws on the run, complete for the first down to Jacob Tamme, but 2 flags are down. There were 3 options to call holding penalties back there for the officials.
Holding, number 23 in the offense. 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Well, Willis McGahee protected his quarterback. He got up under the neck of the lineman.
Same blitz that got him in the first half. That time Manning sent the center to the weak side, and Willis McGahee, I believe, goes over and picks up Melvin Ingram on this 4-week blitz. Actually, he got the A gap, and he hugged Demario Williams. Good call by the official.
So Denver had it 3rd and 1. False start, hold, 3rd and 16, and they'll deal with it on the other side of the quarter. Chance to recharge your batteries. All 14 points in the 3rd scored by the Broncos. Off we go to the 4th quarter. Chargers by 10 on Monday Night Football. But because the Broncos have had big deficits, they've been in comeback mode throughout the year, and they've been plus 52, outscoring the opponent 58-6 in the 4th quarter. Needing to add to that to rally from down 24 tonight. The quarter starts with 3rd and 16. And a 3-man rush gives Manning time, and open is Tammy, who is inbounds, ruled a catch at the 25-yard line and a first down gain of 25.
Great job by Manning stepping up in the pocket. He's going to go fast, so they can't replay this, I believe. He throws the ball in the turkey hole between the corner and the safety. He's got 2 feet in, not even close.
Great job by Tammy to make the catch. Chargers running players off the field as Manning gives, and it's a gain of about 8 for McGahee. We got a flag for 12 men, I believe, on the field. I don't think that player who was trying to get off, Sean Phillips, was it? I don't think he got there in time.
So Peyton Manning does, Mike. He sees that guy running off to the sideline. He has a one-word mechanism. Take a look at Phillips running off the field, number 95. Can't get off, ball snap before you get home, and it's a free 5 yards, free play.
Slow down, too. Slow down. He's looking over at the coaching staff.
Peyton Manning has eyes in the back of his head. If you think you're going to substitute and keep fresh bodies in there against them, you might be mistaken. First and 5 or second and short, I think, is what they're debating, Mike.
Offside defense, number 95. He was in the backfield at the snap. He did not get off the field. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is second down.
He's going to be second and less than a yard at the 16-yard line. Manning has not missed here in his second half. 9 completions, 9 attempts. And back to McGahee. He's got the first down. Denver takes it to the 14-yard line.
Peyton Manning continues to use the no huddle in the red zone. A lot of people get out of the no huddle in the red zone. They don't have enough volume in their offense, but Peyton Manning.
Play action for the 14. Manning pumping. Good footwork to stay alive and finds Decker. Caught at the 8-yard line.
Good footwork. He's laughing at himself. Peyton Manning can't believe he got out of that trouble. Here comes Ingram off the left side. There's a blitz coming inside. He hurdles one guy. He throws an awkward delivery right between the numbers, and he's still after him.
That may have been his entire vertical leap, too.
How do you get out of there?
When you watch him, he'll be under center here. From the 7, second and 3. A quick toss. It's Decker getting a block from Thomas. Getting a block from Stokely. Getting into the end zone for the touchdown.
Teamwork. 10 straight completions, but a quick bubble screen with 2 lead blockers. They throw it to Decker, a young receiver who has a nose for the goal line. But what a great job of blocking out in front of the bubble screen. Look at Demaryius Thomas. You're going to see Brandon Stokely. And just good, hard effort as Decker takes Marcus Gilchrist across the goal line.
It was a great finish of the run, wasn't it? Wow.
Decker, he fell down earlier on a surefire touchdown. He says, I'm gonna make up for my team right here.
You got it. Matt Prater for the extra point. Yeah. 24 in a row San Diego. 21 in a row Denver. Told you it'd be a close game. 3-point game. Early 4th quarter. Great Rise and Makeover to Del Coronado. Our aerial coverage tonight is brought to you by DirecTV. Denver fans have made the trip. There's a sea of orange behind the Broncos bench across the way from us. They were bumming. They were sitting down. Quiet. 24-0 San Diego at the break, but Peyton Manning has led the Broncos back. A key Phillip Rivers sack fumble that turned into a Tony Carter touchdown. It's a 3-point game now as Prater didn't kick his best there. Is bobbled by Curtis Brinkley, who picks it up, and Brinkley brings it back to the 15-yard line as he's tackled by Omar Bolden, the other kickoff return man.
Omar Bolden with the tackle for the Broncos.
Phillip Rivers crossing himself there. Very religious man. 6 children he and his wife have. Rivers has been the face of this Chargers franchise for a long time and has seen uncommon success for opposing quarterbacks other than Tom Brady against Peyton Manning-led teams, especially during the Colts days. 4 of the last 5 times their teams have gone head-to-head, Rivers' team has won. Ryan Matthews the back. This is a first down pass from the 15. And it's out of the backfield 5 from Matthews across the 20.
That's what Norv Turner wants to do. He wants to stay in his base offense, keep Denver in their base defense, because in Denver's base defense, Von Miller plays linebacker. He doesn't get to rush the passer. So he feels like Rivers can get some pass protection and get to these check down receivers, make Von Miller do something that San Diego doesn't want him to do, and that would be rushing the passer.
So a way to slow down his rush is by who you put in the game?
Yeah, keep him in a base defense where he plays linebacker. He plays defensive end in their sub package.
Here is bottom of the screen in the pink sleeves. Back in coverage again as Rivers throws sideline complete. Robert Meacham. The 28-yard line and the first down in front of Chris Harris.
Again, Von Miller, their best pass rusher. That's 2 plays in a row. He's been dropping in coverage. And Von's worn out right now.
And he's banged up too. Lisa Saltons was telling us during the timeout, as you watch this play in the coverage, that Miller was in some pain and discomfort on the sideline. You can see he wasn't involved in the run over for that play. It was earlier on the sack by Derek Wolfe we saw Miller go down to the ground and get up slowly. Injury timeout. This is Steve Antonopoulos, longtime Broncos trainer, talking to Von Miller along with the rest of the medical staff as Miller was helped up but is in significant discomfort on the sideline. Nate Irving, second-year man out of North Carolina State. Their 3rd-round pick last year replaces Miller as it's a first down run and only a gain of a couple yards. Irving introduces himself to the game very quickly.
Sure did.
Tackling Matthews. Good job. That last series that San Diego was on offense, it was the sack for Derek Wolfe. But watch Miller as Rivers goes down. He goes down slow and starts grabbing towards that left hip, left side area.
When you look at the pads that these players aren't wearing on their lower bodies, sometimes it's amazing to me there aren't more injuries. Very few of these guys wear pads below the belt.
Especially in that hip area, right?
Exactly.
That was a staple for a long time for players. Rivers just dumps it. That screen was snuffed out. Give Kevin Vickerson the tackle credit. John, it's the second time he has screwed up the screen.
Boy, it's great. He read his scouting report, 2nd and long, alert screens. That time he read it. He felt the guard release, and Kevin Vickerson, number 99, does an excellent job tracing Ryan Matthews. Good work. And Von Miller's back. Excuse me, Mike.
You got it.
Expect some kind of single back or dog to keep the back from helping on either one of these pass rushers. They want one-on-one for Miller and Doomerville.
3rd and 8. Rivers getting it. Miller's retreating in coverage as Rivers takes a shot and is intercepted by Tony Carter, who had the touchdown a moment ago. Carter on the return near midfield and gives Peyton Manning and the Broncos the ball in great field position.
You've got to be kidding me.
Earlier, Tony Carter had his first NFL touchdown. Here's his first NFL interception of Rivers. Manning has the ball with a chance to take the lead when you come back. Well, it has not been a good second half offensively. Phillip Rivers in conversation with Malcolm Floyd and Meacham after the interception.
Well, it's going to be a 4-week blitz. They're going to drop Von Miller, and Phillip Rivers is going to go to Meacham to the post. He thinks he can beat young Tony Carter. They pick up the blitz. But Carter just bailed and ran right underneath this post pattern for the easy pick. And the Sheriff is in business.
Manning takes over at midfield. His team within 3. First down, toss over the top. Randy Stokely gets 6 to the 44. And before we leave the play by Carter, which is the interception of Rivers, he had the scoop and score earlier. He's only playing really because Tracy Porter is hurt, ill, and didn't make the trip. So Carter had to step into the 5th defensive back role tonight. And he's had a huge imprint on this comeback. Manning gives McGahee. Wow. Finishing the run through Sean Phillips. He carried him 5 yards. First down at the 35.
Amazing what an opening drive touchdown run will do for you. It ignited this Bronco football team. Listen to this. That's physical running by Willis McGahee.
Gain of 9. Manning changes the play. Get over here, Willis.
One-on-one down here to Demarius Thomas.
Manning looking left. Throwing left. It's Stokely complete. That is 12 consecutive passes completed in this second half by Peyton Manning.
And the pass protection has been excellent. Sean Phillips, Ingram, Jarrett Johnson, Barnes. They've tried all their outside specialist rushers, and this Bronco offensive line has done a nice job.
Can a Charger make a big defensive play? Is contact made for the offside as Corey Legent couldn't hang in there.
It's like offsides on Corey Legent, Mike.
Encroachment, number 94, the defense. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
You just feel it slipping away. You feel a sag in the stadium on the Chargers sideline. Peyton Manning looking to put the dagger in San Diego's heart here. The signal is slot combination up top. Decker and Stokely.
Finally gets the snap away, and Manning fires. End zone shot. Stokely went up and caught it for the touchdown. What a catch. What a throw. What a comeback.
Louisiana Lightning. Second oldest receiver in the NFL. Peyton Manning's Louisiana neighbor gets a slot combination signal from Peyton Manning right before the ball is snapped. He sees double bump and run. He changes the protection. He's going to look outside to Stokely and Decker and tell him exactly what to do.
Now let's watch the back end to make sure Stokely has possession and 2.
Unbelievable.
Yep, got him. Got 3 in. And to the ground and maintains control all the way down.
One-on-one. And Peyton Manning sees it much like Rivers saw it earlier in the first half. Great execution.
Matt Prater for the extra point. It took just under 17 minutes. Down 24-0. The Broncos now lead 28-24. Let me remind you that the GMC postgame is coming up on SportsCenter. Also, full recap of the baseball as San Francisco beat St. Louis 7-1. Evening the National League Championship Series of the Game of Peace. And if you were watching baseball, you missed a pretty good show. Peyton's done it again. San Diego was up 24-0. 17 points off of turnovers by the Broncos. Gave Rivers and company the big halftime lead. But a storming comeback here by the Broncos has tightened this up. And now it's on the shoulders of Rivers and the Chargers. It's Richard Goodman from 7 deep. And Goodman with a decent return as Goodman hits the edge, and he's brought down by the opposite kick returner. Second straight tackle by Omar Boulder.
We play man-to-man, double bump and run in the slot. Peyton Manning's going to signal to Stokely and Decker what he wants done. And these signals are going to be very subtle. You're going to see him gesture with his right hand quickly. And these two receivers, they're eyeballing it all the way. They get the hand signal. Decker goes inside. Stokely goes outside. Manning throws it up 6 points. Then you come over to the sideline, and I can just hear Peyton Manning right now. Man, I'm glad you got that subtle signal. I gave it to you late. You're an amazing guy. Way to go, Stokely. These two veteran players, that's why you want veteran players that know this system. Tammy, Stokely, man, did they just deliver.
Let's see what Rivers has as a response to the 32. Phillip throws it to Antonio Gates. Big first half. Gates, 13 yards there as he's tackled at the 45-yard line.
Mike, this is just what I want to see from Phillip Rivers. You said it earlier in our broadcast. Rivers is happy Manning came to Denver. He wants Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos. Well, you got exactly what you asked. The best of Peyton Manning against the best you have with the game on the line in the fourth quarter.
Rocket.
The 45 against the four-man rush. It's a completion for about 7 yards as Malcolm Floyd climbs forward. Raheem Moore with the tackle. So now it's Norv Turner calling the plays on offense and Jack Del Rio trying to dial up the answers on the defensive side. Two guys very familiar with each other. Matter of fact, when Del Rio played at USC, Norv was an assistant coach there. So they've known each other for a couple of decades. Little no huddle out of the Chargers, and Matthews gets a first down. Ryan down to the 44.
And what did Norv Turner tell us? He said this team, this San Diego Charger football team, needs to respond in adversity. They didn't do it last week. They weren't able to finish against the New Orleans Saints. This will be a real gut check for this entire football team. He wants to see him respond in these situations.
Ronnie Brown is now in the back. He trips. And boy, did he think he was going for some big yards. Robert Ayers, I think, got a hand on him to bring him down.
And Phillip Rivers is in the no-huddle offense. It's a muddle huddle, but he's clearly taking advantage of the Denver Broncos, who are exhausted. Von Miller on the sidelines.
And this is what burned the Broncos last week against New England. Rivers looking right, incomplete. With Tony Carter again in coverage, and that brings Miller back on the field.
Well, Von Miller needs to be on the field for the Denver Broncos to win in this situation. You go to all this work. You overcome fumbles in special teams, interceptions, run back for touchdown. The coach yells at you at halftime. You're down 24-0. You come back, you get the lead, 28-24, division lead at stake. You need your closers on the field, and Von Miller is one of the best in football.
Two receivers each side. Brown stays in the block. Rivers throws. Intercepted again. Chris Harris. Turnover number 4. It was intended for Eddie Royal, who wants a flag. Instead, it's Denver ball, John.
Excuse me, Mike. Eddie Royal missed time on the practice field. He's been hurt throughout training camp. And when you throw the ball to a slot receiver on some kind of an option route, you're counting on him crossing face. I thought Royal stopped on the route, and it cost San Diego big time. Royal, who's new to this offense, remember, they've been playing with a lot bigger receivers over the last couple years. So when you miss practice time and you're running a route on an option route in the middle of the field, that's not a good combination.
We wanted the flag on the contact there. It was right at the edge of that 5-yard zone where you can bump. But you want to see the receiver more aggressive there?
Yes.
As McGahee runs on first down and gets it out to the 42-yard line. There's a responsibility to use the term cross face, which is very common as you instruct receivers on how to run those routes in the slot.
I thought Royal quit on the route. When you're supposed to cross the corner's face, I don't care if he's a yard inside of you or 2 yards inside of you, you cross his face. He fooled Rivers there.
Shotgun run game has been effective for Denver with McGahee.
Another slot combination. It looks like they're signaling Demaryius Thomas and Stokely again.
Back to a run. It's McGahee fighting for those hard yards. He gets the first down to the 45-yard line.
Look out there at Taquio Spikes. Cam Jordan, number 93.
We had an offside on San Diego.
Charger run defense has to step up. Willis McGahee has been impressive down the stretch here.
Offside defense, number 38. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
So Marcus Gilchrist, the nickel. Rivers picked 3 times here tonight. And then you had the sack fumble that led to the Tony Carter touchdown. It really changed the tone and the momentum of this game. Denver came out with an establishing solid drive to start this third quarter. But that play flipped all the momentum in the game.
There's that double-A blitz. Demarius Thomas at the top of the screen wants a signal. Please give me the ball, he's saying.
We go back with McGahee, his 9th rush of the half. And John, you talk about McGahee. He's about 9 for 46 yards here in this half. That's after 7 for just 5 yards in the first half.
Sometimes you just got to stay with it. Coach McCoy, the offensive coordinator, hasn't given up on the running game. And just watch the shot clock. Peyton Manning doing a nice job using a lot of this clock.
And he gets quick up under center. And at 18 comes back out. And that's what you call reading the mail.
Try to get your team in the best possible play.
He pulls back to the shotgun. It's deflected in the air, and coming back is Decker, and it falls incomplete. It was Weddle coming off the corner on the pressure as the safety deflected the pass.
I thought Decker made a heads-up play right there. Not catching the football would have been a loss of 4 or 5 yards. There's a young, heady football player. Keep an eye on Tillman, number 21, the rookie tailback. He's going to be asked to pick up a blitz for Peyton Manning. Here they come.
Manning had completed his last 13 passes before that one. On 3rd and 6, Peyton for Decker. Right up and made an unbelievable catch at the 18. Untouched, gets up and runs. Let's see the signal. Now it's blown dead back there at the spot. We also have a flag down on the play in the middle of the field. There was no distinct call there to stop him down over by the 20. Is this going to go back the other way?
He calls on Decker.
Pass interference, offense, number 87. 10-yard penalty, repeat, 3rd down.
Blitz is coming. It's a one-on-one situation, and Peyton Manning is trying to end San Diego's night. Outside release, you be the judge. He's got Kaysen beat. Man, that's subtle. I tell you, I've seen a lot worse than that.
You know what I've
seen?
You
can bring Jerry Austin in. You can bring any official, and I'm not agreeing with any of them. Let them play.
I've seen a lot of offensive pass interference called this week. A ton. I don't know if it was emphasized to the crews this week, but there's been a lot of those plays called. And movement quickly on the San Diego side. And Chris Cooper says it's 5 on the home team.
On Martin. A lot of procedure penalties, encroachment penalties tonight.
Encroachment, left defensive tackle. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
When you play Phillip Rivers or Peyton Manning, you have to assume you're going to get a hard count in a long yardage situation. Don't let Peyton Manning have a convertible situation. Big 3rd and 11.
Manning goes under center. It's a 3rd and 11 run with McGahee across midfield to the 49-yard line. And Denver will punt the ball right about at the 4-minute mark. You surprised to see a run there?
I sure was. Really surprised by the offensive pass interference call there, but that's an ex-offensive coach, I guess, Mike.
Or a missed call, either one. Britton Colquitt. Particularly good at pinning teams inside the 20. See what he does here. Picking right at the 4-minute mark. Ooh, the pressure came off the edge. No flag thrown as Colquitt went down. Fair caught at the 14-yard line by Eddie Royal. Peyton Manning and the Broncos down 24-0 at the half. The comeback to Demaryius Thomas on the opening drive. On the ensuing drive, Rivers is hit by Elvis Dumervil. The ball's out. Tony Carter only playing significant time because of the injury to Tracy Porter, his illness. He's not in the lineup tonight. 24-14. Eric Decker, who earlier had a touchdown opportunity, missed because he tripped. 24-21. And the touchdown pass to Brandon Stokely in the lead. And the Peyton Manning-led Broncos are trying to join the Lions of last year as the only team to overcome a 24-point second-half deficit and come back to win. Detroit did that in Dallas to the Cowboys. For the 14, Rivers. In a 9 right in front of the sticks with Malcolm Floyd. Maybe we'll give him 10. Yep.
Champ Bailey, he's played in over 200 games. Now is the time for the 11-time Pro Bowler to make a memorable play. That time they just threw the ball to Floyd right in front of him. Pressure up front by Denver. Huge contributor in this second-half comeback. And the secondary of the Broncos has stolen the ball from Rivers 3 times.
24 is a run with Ronnie Brown. He's going to get 6 to the 30-yard line. You saw Peyton Manning, as we were showing you that stat of the comeback. He had a word there for the line judge. Disappointed with those calls that they got on that last drive.
I saw the officiating really determine the Saints' comeback victory in some ways the other night against San Diego, and that call right there could be a determining factor when it's all said and done.
The pass interference on the offense. Deep drop, Rivers throwing and jumping the route, and nearly with a hat trick of picks was Tony Carter. That was a deep drop on the out for Meacham, and Carter had time to get underneath.
Well, here comes the blitz right up the middle. He's under duress. He throws the ball with good anticipation. These corners aren't backing off of Robert Meacham. Meacham hasn't gotten much done at all tonight, the ex-New Orleans Saint. They need somebody besides Antonio Gates to make a play in the passing game.
Tell you what, Tony Carter, for a guy who's played only 18% of the defensive snaps this year, has done very well filling in. 3rd and 4, and Rivers is complete for the first down. The big body of 6'5", Malcolm Floyd takes it out across the 40.
That's Champ Bailey's play to make. You go get Malcolm Floyd. That's Rivers' favorite target, and it's a key situation. Cover him. Great release by Malcolm Floyd. That's 2 catches for the big receiver against Champ Bailey at crunch time.
From the 41, full complement of timeouts. Plenty of time left. A run with Ronnie Brown. Brown gets about 4 to the 45 as Robert Ayers and Wesley Woodyard come up with the tackle. 2.5 to go.
Out of time when you have the 2-minute warning and all your timeouts left. But clearly this is 4-down territory for Phillip Rivers.
2 to 4, 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6. Rivers going left, and it's intercepted by Chris Harris, who's all the way home. What a comeback by the Broncos.
It's Eddie Royal again. These are very difficult option routes to anticipate when you're throwing it to a target that you haven't had a lot of history with. Kudos to the Denver Broncos. What did John Fox say to this football team at halftime? He probably said, hey, Manning, tell the defense to play better. Let's go. But take a look at it right here. I don't know what the route Eddie Royal is running here. He breaks to the outside. He gets undercut. You got to put that on Phillip Rivers. You got to see throws. I don't think he ever saw Chris Harris.
That is 4 interceptions for Rivers. The first time in his career he's thrown 4 interceptions. 2 defensive scores for the Broncos. And the anguish of a 24-0 lead in race with 35 unanswered points by the Broncos.
You got to credit Tony Carter, Chris Harris. They got up in the grill of these Charger receivers and said, beat us. And Phillip Rivers is dropping back the pass. It's a man-to-man situation. I just think you got to throw that football away and live for another snap. And Rivers can't believe it. 35 unanswered. Talk about a team getting up off the mat and knocking you out at your place. Peyton Manning, you got to give this team, Denver, credit. They're going to a bye week, tied for the division lead. And this kind of victory can go a long way. Believe me. So can this kind of defeat.
You know, a stunning flip in this game. The Chargers now, their offense wasn't wowing you. They had a 17-0 lead. They got the ball twice in the red zone, and you can just see the anguish with Rivers. We've seen it on a Monday night. Remember last year in Kansas City with the mistake on the snap? They ended up losing the game.
We haven't seen anything like this.
Not like this, you're right. Prater kicks it out of the back. It's a touchback.
Nice to coach against John Fox, and we used to sit around and he said, wouldn't it be great to have Peyton Manning? Peyton Manning gets you 26.2 points per game. If I just had 26.2 points per game, I'm telling you, I would win a lot of games. He goes, I wonder what my one-loss record is as a head coach if I scored 26 points. John Fox is 40-3, Mike, when his teams over the years have scored 26 points. Now, at this stage of his career, he finally gets a quarterback like Peyton Manning. And I'm telling you, if Manning can get John Fox and his staff 26 points, Denver's real dangerous. I wonder what I could have done if I got 26 points. I might still be coaching.
40 and 3 is unbelievable.
40-3. If Peyton Manning continues to bring everyone around him to another level. That's what he does. That's what Eli does. You saw Eli in San Francisco the other day. I don't know who some of these Reuben Randalls are, these running back Ramses Barton. These Mannings don't care. We'll bring Brandon Stokely along from Louisiana. You go play the slot. I'll give you a hand signal. We'll just keep playing, keep getting better. I'm on a soapbox here, sorry, but this is one heck of a show.
You knock yourself out. Well, we've seen it before, and Stokely was very key in Manning coming back and getting him back. He has a place out in Colorado. They were able to talk and spend some time together and key in the whole build back up of Manning. It's an 11-point game with a 2-minute warning and 3 timeouts. So San Diego can still make something happen here. Royal catches this one. It gets to the 2-minute warning at the 30-yard line. Crushing night for San Diego. 24-point lead blown.
What's up, Stuart Scott with you, Sports Center after the game, the GMC post-game report, highlights and analysis of this bananas game. Ray Lewis, future Hall of Famer, season done, torn triceps, and the Giants trying to even up the NLCS at a game apiece. A lot of stuff going on, Mike.
All right, Stuart, thank you. We'll keep everybody up to speed on that. And talk to a guest post-game here in San Diego as Stu and Steve Young and Trent Dilfer, those 2 Super Bowl winning quarterbacks who watch this Peyton Manning-led comeback. And let's give Jack Del Rio's defense a ton of credit. John Elway there on the field. You know the story so well of the leap of faith here and the confidence to turn the whole thing around, get rid of Tebow, trade him off, bring in Peyton Manning, and really, John, let's be honest, turn the offense over to him. Mike McCoy deserves a lot of credit as the offensive coordinator. He's facilitated everything that makes Manning comfortable with some of the existing things Denver did. And the results could get to the break at 3-3. Inside the 2-minute warning, Rivers retreating and just getting rid of it. Out of the tackle box, chased there by Wesley Woodard.
And they continue to apply pressure. The Denver Broncos. But, Mike, there's a lot of coaches that wanted the keys to Peyton Manning in this comeback attempt. I credit John Fox, John Elway, Mr. Bolin for giving Peyton Manning the platform to do what he does. And you got to give the sheriff credit for all the things he's overcome. It's hard not to root for him.
2nd and 10. Here is Ronnie Brown out of the backfield. For a gain of 5, stays inbounds. Clock rolls at 1:45.
to have a bye week after this game is an extra good feeling for Denver. They battled through a very difficult schedule, a lot of transition to get to 500, but the Chargers will have lost 3 out of their last 4. And you start hearing those same old song.
Meacham, the contact and the catch as he bumped with Tony Carter. Ruled the completion. Meacham feeling the effects of that, and the timeout taken with 1:20 to go. Carter, hard hit on Meacham. Well, we saw John Elway on the sideline, Peyton Manning. The Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks and the biggest, most important stats. It's Marino up there with Manning and Favre and Elway. Where are they in the NFL ranks? Favre's #1 all-time in pass yards, TDs, and wins. Marino's second, third in wins. Peyton, third in yards and touchdown passes, fourth in wins. And his boss now, Elway, fourth in yards, sixth in touchdown passes, and second in victories. Kind of that Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks, and one of the key men who helped Elway get that elusive championship there on the left. TD, Terrell Davis, great San Diegan. When they brought Davis in a running game, the end of his career, starting right here in San Diego, the first of back-to-back Super Bowl titles. 80 seconds, 2 timeouts left for Rivers. Down 11. Sack. Von Miller.
Von Miller.
Von Miller with the sack.
How'd you like to have him in the bullpen in case you needed him to close the game? Just up and inside, and that's Norv Turner's greatest fear, is an obvious passing situation in a 2-minute drill. It's the one thing the Chargers just don't do at a high level offensively, is pass protect on the edges. But I can't get over the transition of this Denver offensive team. They went from Tim Tebow, Mike, in an offense where Willis McGahee said, they said just run it. They didn't care if there was 11 guys on the line of scrimmage. Make it work. To running this offense with one of the premier quarterbacks in history. It's a no-huddle, very cerebral style of play. Clearly they're getting better at it.
52 man tie. 52 and back in there, man 52.
Second and 16. Rivers taking a shot. See if anything can happen. Goodman's downfield. Oh, and he made a good move to come back inside. Richard Goodman trying to make the play on Tony Carter. Again, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here would get it to a field goal game and an onside kick. So a big play or a big mistake could keep San Diego alive here.
Got to finish games, there's no question. We saw the Tennessee-Detroit game earlier. That's why you see Von Miller, Doomerville, still hunting Phillip Rivers until the end.
Richard Goodman came in after Robert Meacham got hit on that prior play. Meacham out on the sideline. Goodman rarely used as a receiver. That pass was hit by Doomerville as it was intended for Goodman. So Doomerville, who had the strip sack earlier that led to the touchdown, got his hand on that. We're down to 1 play.
So it's a pleasure watching him. You know, Freeney, Mathis closed out a lot of games for Peyton Manning. Now Manning gets the lead, and he turns the game over to Doomerville and Von Miller. Scarily similar, Mike.
Yeah, you're right. Historic collapse here for the Chargers if they can't convert 4th and 16. And Doomerville closes the business as he comes around, forces another fumble. It is recovered by Denver. Another turnover. 5 in this half by the Broncos as they rally to win.
Elvis is in the house. This time it's Mike Harris. And Rivers has no chance. Got to be terribly frustrating for San Diego to lose a game like this. But you have to tip your hat not only to Peyton Manning and John Fox, but the way Von Miller and Elvis Doomerville closed them out.
And just a poor offensive second half for San Diego. 6 possessions, 5 turnovers, 1 punt. One more kneel down and it will be done. Here's the history set tonight. Peyton Manning for the 47th time, a game-winning drive in the fourth quarter or overtime. Ties Dan Marino for the most in NFL history. Ties the largest comeback win for any road team in NFL history. It's the 7th time that's happened as he takes the last knee to end the game. And it's the largest comeback in any Monday Night Football game, equaled at 24 points. It's the 3rd time. The LA Raiders came back from down 24 twice on Monday Night Football to win. Once against San Diego, once against Denver. And tonight, Peyton Manning brings Denver back from down 24 with 35 unanswered points. And the AFC West is tied. Here's Lisa with Peyton.
Thanks a lot, Mike. Peyton, down 24 points at the half. What did you guys start doing differently?
Well, we have been there before. Unfortunately, this is not the start that we wanted. Once again, just had those self-inflicted wounds that put us in a hole. But we have shown the ability to come back, and offense and defense really did it together there in the second half. Well, we had a great first drive, and our defense got us some turnovers.
What did you say to your guys in the locker room at halftime?
Well, there's no speech that kind of causes that turnaround. It's simply a matter of will. I do think offensively, the fact that we have been there before, we have shown the ability to score quickly. It was nice to finally get a lead there in the fourth quarter and have our defense to have a chance to play with the lead, and they could really peel their ears back and rush the passer.
You talked about being there before. Is this just going to be how you guys roll?
Well, I certainly hope not. Fox is already pretty gray right now. I don't think he can last much more hair-wise as far as getting down like we are. So, you know, it's about playing 60 minutes. There's no quitting this team. Obviously, some things we got to sharpen up, but it sure was a good win tonight.
The go-ahead touchdown to Brandon Stokely. Describe how your long-term relationship with him factored in, because it looked like there was a little subtle hand gesture towards the end.
Yeah, I thrown that a few times to old Stoke, and he made a great play. Anytime you get one-on-one coverage with him in the slot, I'll take him in the slot over anybody. And I love Wes Welker and some of the greats, but obviously I'm biased towards Stoke, and got him in one-on-one coverage, gave him a little fade route, and that was a huge play for us.
This is your first road win. You talked about feeling comfortable again on the road. How did you feel tonight?
Well, I felt better. I really did. I felt good coming out. I thought we had a good plan, and it was so disappointing to, you know, have those special teams mistakes and really get us in a hole. It was kind of deflating to our team there in the first half. But the second half, guys really stepped up. Everybody was accountable, thought they could do their job a little better, and everything went our way in the second half.
And of course, you've had a lot of comeback victories, but where does this one rank?
I don't really have them ranked, but it sure is special considering what was on the line at this early point in the season. I think it was a pivotal game. I think we can really build off this momentum. We got a bye week. We can get some guys healthy and work on correcting some of those mistakes and play better, hopefully, after the bye.
And maybe to leave things on a light note, you probably can laugh about it now, but what were you thinking when Eric Decker kind of tripped over his own feet and didn't get into the end zone in the first half?
Well, when those kind of plays happen, you do kind of wonder for a minute if it's just not meant to be our night. I mean, that was a play we designed and put in specifically. We got the perfect coverage and we executed it, and then obviously I know Decker was sick about it, and I thought Decker made some huge plays all night tonight, but we were able to overcome that. That was a good thing.
Thank you, and congratulations on the win.
Thanks a lot, Lisa.
Mike?
All right, Lisa, thank you. 4th straight game, over 300 yards for Peyton Manning. So the Denver win means that there are 2 teams over 500 in the AFC, and 7 teams of the 16 are at 3-3. Just get in the tournament, you're going to have some fun. For the first time in the history of the NFL, a team down 24 wins by double digits. Final score, Broncos 35, Chargers 24. With John Gruden and Lisa Salters, our Monday night team, Mike Tirico, so long from San Diego. See you next week for the Bears and Lions.